The year is 2017. Filthy Frank is a prominent YouTube creator making offensive and funny content for outcast kids with weird personalities. He's also promoting and getting ready to release his debut album, Pink Season. But some more dedicated fans will know that he's been releasing serious music on the side under the name Joji. Prominent tracks like You Suck Charlie and Thom that even fans of his nowadays still might not know about. But what if I told you that there's even more songs that you might not know of? The hidden layer of the Joji iceberg, only there for those who actually look for it. Today, I want to discuss Joji's beginnings. Before we begin, I want to remind everyone to subscribe. I'm going to try making the best content I can throughout all of 2022 and onward, and I want to hit 100 subs before the end of the year, and I believe we could even hit 200 with a big video, so share this too if you can. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Alright, so you know the whole "the year is 2017" thing that I said in the beginning? Disregard that shit. The year is 2011, and an 18-year-old kid named George Miller is about to leave his home of Kobe, Japan, RIP. In the months leading up to his eventual leave for New York City, he records a music video for his song Waffle House in Guam, as well as a short documentary showcasing a young Joji talking about his dreams and aspirations. These videos can be found on Alex Hirota's Vimeo page. I'm assuming he's a friend of George's from high school, and there are many re-uploads on YouTube. In the documentary, we see a very genuine and honest George, though there are still glimpses of what we would come to know as Filthy Frank and Pink Guy. Although at this point, George explains he just enjoys entertaining people, and it's just him being funny, obviously. He discusses a hip-hop group named Beats and Misu that he joined in Japan to perform with, and apparently they got quite a lot of gigs. He talks about how he had to do comedic videos along with music to try and branch out. These videos were satirical comedy videos where he played multiple characters. Sound familiar? George also expresses that his teachers would judge him for his videos. As far as the music video goes, it's very different from his current music, both musically and visually. The song itself takes on a hip-hop sound, and George raps on it about having a dream in which an angel tells him that if he's going to chase his music dream, he must have a backup plan, in the form of a Waffle House in Guam. He tells the listener that they could join him and cook waffles and live until 90. Sounds pretty nice, honestly. He expresses the ideas that he doesn't really mind if his future isn't set in stone, and that his education isn't the biggest thing to him. I'm assuming shortly after this documentary is when George moved to New York, as he's a senior in high school. But before we get to that confusing era, let's do one last flashback to George's first song he ever uploaded. The song Greatest Song Ever, which does not lie. It's pretty much the beginning of Filthy Frank, with George singing about dicks and Play-Doh and racists.
You like taking long walks on the beach, then you're a racist!
Now, with that small little detail out of the way, let's go to New York.
Am I high? No. 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 Am I?
Now, from 2011 to 2014, there wasn't much Joji or George content. He had played himself here and there in videos, but the first video where he was strictly George was the infamous seizure announcement. If you had the privilege to watch this video when it first came out and watch some of the absolute degenerates that plagued its comment section, then drop a A-boss in the comments for me. Joji deleted this video, as I insinuated, and various other videos from the Disaster Music YouTube channel where they were found, and his private SoundCloud page got found around this time. The page was quickly wiped by Joji, not completely, but for the most part. But it was too late, and George would encounter, for the first time, an issue that he still faces to this day. The leakers. You're called a leaker because you post Joji's music. I'm called a leaker because I piss my pants in public. We are not the same. Now, why would he delete all of this? Well, a reason that me and you most likely know well. Stans. Like the Dream SMP kind. Like the ones that want to marry you. The gross ones. These people flooded in once George revealed himself, and they only grew the more he revealed that side of himself, causing him to delete a bunch of videos from the Disaster Music channel and blame it on a disk crash.
今夜は本気でやってもらいますね。1, 2, 3, 4
Skip to 2015, Joji goes on Anthony Fantano's podcast. I'm making a video on him too, actually. And this is what we'll call the Chloe Burbank era, because later in the year, Joji starts releasing songs like Thom and You Suck Charlie, the bangers I mentioned at the beginning. All of this was to tease his album Chloe Burbank, which would unfortunately never release due to the previously mentioned leakers, but collections and fan creations of what the album could have been exist in the thousands, although who knows what Joji wanted from this project. The most popular of these fan creations is by KirbyKip251 on YouTube, and it's the version I'm going to be referencing the most as I discuss the songs in greater detail. I will also be taking some creative liberties and only discussing the songs that I really like or think would have been on the album, because fuck you, this is my video.
Yeah, let me see you, let me see you, let me see you, I never see you anymore.
Thom is probably my favorite song on the project, and probably one of my favorite Joji songs of all time. Like, it just goes so hard, and acts as a perfect shift from the hip-hop sounds that fans had gotten used to, and perfectly moves into the lo-fi themes we would have seen from this album. I doubt the entire album would have been lo-fi, but I completely believe that this song would have marked the turning point, perhaps as a halfway point. The song even started a little underground community over the years through its not trap, just romancecore tag, a tag I'll probably use in the future, so look forward to that. The song also samples Ariana Grande. No matter how you flip it,
You Suck Charlie
is the outro to the album. You can't tell me different. Unless Joji could have hit a better bittersweet nostalgia tone, this is just the outro. It literally sampled Charlie Brown's Christmas. Can you think of a more nostalgic, sad vibe? It's literally Sad Bart, but better. Don't at me. Foy Bump, I assume I'm pronouncing that right, is just a lo-fi remix of the song Juicy by Notorious B.I.G. or Biggie Smalls. This is basically what the anime protagonist listens to on their way home from school. World Star Money is literally just a banger. When those drums hit, my soul left my body. Like, how the fuck did you all fuck this album up? Do you know how many more of these songs we could have gotten? You all really just fucked up. Unsaved Info is a chilled, sad, vibey song. The only bad thing that I can say about the song is that it's only 57 seconds long. Plastic Taste is where we start to see a lot more of the modern Joji sound show, and I'll be honest, it's not my favorite. It kind of seems like that weird pubescent phase, I don't know. I think it captures Joji's ballad sound pretty well, while still having lo-fi aspects, but it's kind of boring. Most Joji songs, you know, they get me vibing, they get me in my feels, but to quote every hip-hop fan ever, this shit is mid. I'm just fucking around. It's a good song, and if you like it, then fuck yeah. Personally though, it's not for me. I don't know what it is, it just doesn't do it for me. One of the most out-of-left-field, home run, into the stands, put a 14-year-old boy in the hospital from blunt force trauma tracks on this imaginary album is XXX, a hard-hitting trap banger from Joji and Ryan Jacob. It goes pretty hard, but kinda suffers from the same problem as Plastic Taste, because it's just kinda boring. I think this really could have done with some Joji vocals, and it's not like he hasn't rapped over trap beats before. I mean, look at Pink Season and one of the songs that we'll be covering in a moment. I just think that this song could have been a lot more if the album had become a lot more. I Don't Wanna Waste My Time is more of an In Tongues era song, but fuck you, it's my video. But yeah, like I said, it's a very In Tongues style song. Not at all bad, very entertaining, with Joji singing about how he doesn't want to waste his time with the person that he likes, a person who is probably in another relationship, or at least indecisive between Joji and someone else. This is a theme that he would later explore in songs like Upgrade. We've now entered the realm of unreleased songs, starting with We Fall Again, stylized as... I don't think this song would have gone on the album. I think it would have been scrapped, or at the very least polished a little more. It's pretty good, but I don't think it was intended to see the light of day, at least not in this state. Damn, you in Idaho? Damn, you in Ohio? I Don't Please You is one line looped over what is probably an old Joji beat, obviously not intended for the album. Plus, it sounds like it was recorded on karaoke night at a dive bar in the middle of New Orleans. Still goes hard, I cannot deny. Are you emo? Are you angry? Do you listen to loud music? What is your credit card information? What is your mother's maiden name? Is this bit dumb yet? Old Yeller is Joji's attempt at what the quiet kid is listening to, and it's another flop in my opinion. It's not bad, I just don't think Joji has the voice for it. It doesn't feel intense. I think Joji just had a loud beat and an edgy line and just decided to roll with it for fun. Joji makes music for fun, so I could understand if the only reason this saw the light of day was to show his friends. But why did these songs and the album in general never see the light? Well, I believe the main reason was people stealing and dropping the songs before Joji wanted to drop them. He had culminated a super toxic and privileged audience through Filthy Frank, and these people thought that they were entitled to all knowledge about George and Joji, so they'd get their grubby little Cheeto dust-stained hands all over Joji's music and share it with the other incels. And through the huge audience that Filthy Frank channel had created, the albums were practically released before Joji had time to react. It's sad, honestly, that we never got to see this album in completion, as it's some of my favorite music that Joji's ever made. Like, Nectar is all fine and dandy, but it doesn't exactly fit over an AMV of Garden of Words, an anime which I made a video on a while ago, actually. Go check that video out after this one. And thus we reach the end of this chapter of Joji's life. He would go on to release his debut EP In Tongues, and then Ballads 1, and now Nectar. And if you'd like me to cover those projects and the history behind them, then like the video to tell me that you liked the video. I definitely enjoyed writing it, and I would love to do more on the topic, as Joji is one of my favorite artists, and I'd even like to do some videos on the Filthy Frank era. So, yeah. Subscribe. Like the video. Kiss me. Do it. Do it now. Please. 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 I'm definitely making a video on the In Tongues and Ballads era, and Lost Instrumentals and Lost Ballads, 'cause I can make videos on whatever I want is what I'm realizing.